I tell this to my boys and to my wife. I always say, have an understanding that you're not better than anybody else. That's important for you to understand. You are not better than anybody else. But it's also important for you to understand that nobody else is better than you. For real. And if you attack life with that mentality, you're not better than anybody else, humility, and nobody else is better than you, that means that you know who you are. And you're not gonna treat me lower than what I am. And I want you to grit your teeth. I want you to stomp your feet. I want you to make sure that when you get there and you lay hold of that thing, that you don't let go. That you don't let go. And I want you to believe in yourself. I want you to understand that you deserve that thing. I don't want any thoughts of doubt or any thoughts that say I don't deserve this, I'm not good enough for this. You are good enough for that thing. You do deserve that thing. Because as long as you put the work in, you deserve to be there. P2P motivation, here we go. So we've made it to another amazing day. We've made it to another amazing day that God has made, and we're going to choose to rejoice and be glad in it. And this is what I want y'all to do me a favor. I want you to do me one thing as we try to begin our day properly, as we try to end our day properly, as we try to make sure that we're operating in the lane that we're supposed to be operating. And I want you to do this thing for me. I want you to think about something that you want in life. Think about something, or just think about overall what you want out of your life. Think about a goal. Think about something that seems kind of hard to achieve. It might not be like a small goal that you can achieve in one day, because all the time I tell y'all, think about a goal that you can achieve in like 1 minute, 30 minutes, 1 hour. But now I want y'all to like actually think about like a big goal, like something that seems maybe a little bit insurmountable, but something that you've had dreams about since you've been small, since you've been in your teenage years, since you were 20 and 30. Think about the things that you dreamed about doing when you were in college, or think about the things that you dreamed about doing when you were in high school. Like some of these things that just seem like they're just like too big of dreams to take on, too big of dreams to handle. I want you to think about that thing. And as long as it still fits your life now, like don't pursue something that doesn't fit your life, something that the Lord didn't call you to. I'm talking about things that you feel the Lord wants you to do. Things that you feel like, man, like I wish I could have did this thing, or man, I want to do this thing, but I don't have time. I don't have the resources. I don't see myself being able to do it, but I sure would like to do it. So I want you to think about that thing. I want you to think about it for a couple seconds. And after you've thought about it for a couple seconds, after you have refreshed your mind on this hope, on this vision, on this dream, now what I want you to do is, with every ounce of energy that you have, with every piece of brain power that you have, with every piece of grit and resistance and endurance that you have, I want you to fight and go towards that thing. I want you to try to make that goal, that mission, that dream, that thing that seems like it's too big, I want you to make that thing become small. And I want you to go get that thing. I want you to go get it. I want you to go lay hold of it. And when you get there and you lay hold of that thing, and something tries to come and say you don't deserve to be here, something tries to come and say you haven't worked hard enough to be here, something tries to come and say you're not good enough to be here, I want you to make this sound right here. I want you to make that sound. Just try to make that sound. And if making that sound isn't good enough, I want you to make it loud and let it just linger. For real. I want you to make that sound right there. And I want you to grit your teeth. I want you to stomp your feet. I want you to make sure that when you get there and you lay hold of that thing, that you don't let go. That you don't let go. And I want you to believe in yourself. I want you to understand that you deserve that thing. I don't want any thoughts of doubt or any thoughts that say I don't deserve this, I'm not good enough for this, you are good enough for that thing. You do deserve that thing, because as long as you put the work in, you deserve to be there. So I'm just trying to encourage y'all this day, this evening, whenever you're watching it, this night, I'm just trying to encourage y'all that the things that you want to happen, the things that you feel led to do, you can do those things. You can do them. Like, there's no I can't. It's only I can. You can. I'm a living testimony that you can, because what you're looking at is me. Like I said, you can't see our whole property, but this property, like, we live in the country now. We own multiple pieces of property. We have probably about 15 acres all together, maybe 20. Like I said, I hadn't checked in a while, but we probably have 15 to 20 acres all together, and we own all these properties like debt free. We bought these properties in cash. We have been able to do some amazing things, but these things that we're doing now all started with a flicker of a dream. They all started with a flicker of vision. They all started with just a mustard seed of hope. And we had to aggressively and violently go and get those things that we felt led that we wanted. It's like, I know that there was a time when I was working with my dad. We were doing bush hogging. Like, that's what I did before I went full-time in the ministry. Like, we would do tractor work. We would do grading, bush hogging. That's when you cut grass with the brush hog on the back of the tractor. We would do all type of stuff with a tractor, hauling off stuff, we would do firewood on the side and things like that. And it's like, I remember one day I was working with my dad, and we were working at this property. It was probably about 5 to 10 acres of property, nice green fields, and we were mowing the grass. We were bush hogging. It was tall grass, and we were bringing it down low and like manicuring that 5 or 10 acres. And they had this big, long, windy driveway. And it's like, when I saw that big, long, windy driveway, now mind me, I was not long out of prison. Y'all know that I got sentenced to a 14-year sentence in prison. I was sentenced to serve 7 years of that sentence. Did 6 years and 8 months. Went to prison when I was 17. Got out when I was 23. A couple months before I turned 24. Before my 24th birthday. So mind me now, I didn't have a lot going for myself. But I had that glimmer of hope. I had that grit that had been built up in me, knowing that, yes, I am good enough to have these things. I am good enough to be, to experience the best in my life. I am good enough. I don't feel like I'm below. I don't feel like I'm above. That's one thing I always tell folks, or that's the mentality I have. I tell my family. I don't tell like strangers. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all, but I mostly tell this to my boys and to my wife. I always say, have an understanding that you're not better than anybody else. That's important for you to understand. You are not better than anybody else. But it's also important for you to understand that nobody else is better than you. For real. And if you attack life with that mentality, you're not better than anybody else, humility, and nobody else is better than you, that means that you know who you are. And you're not going to treat me lower than what I am. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I want y'all to understand. I want you to understand those two things. Understand who you are. But I was out doing this job one day, and I saw this big old long windy driveway. And I said, man, it would be nice if one day I could own a big long windy driveway like that. And you know what happened in my mind? I went from it would be nice if I could to saying I will. I am gonna own a big old long windy driveway like that one day. And not only do I own this big long windy driveway here, but I've owned multiple big long big long windy driveways. And it's like, it's just amazing that if you set your mind, if you set your energy, if you set your talents, it's almost like a dial on your stove, or a dial on your thermostat, or a dial in your car on the air conditioner. It's like you have to set that dial to dominate. You have to set that dial to win. You have to set that dial to say, I can do these things. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. It's like if you set that dial to the right place, you will find yourself accomplishing the goals that you have set in your mind to accomplish. You'll find yourself doing things that blow your mind. You'll find yourself not just having dreams in your mind and saying, maybe one day I'll be able to do this. No, you will transition from saying it like that to maybe one day I'm gonna do this, and you'll transition and say, I'm going to do this. Like, this is gonna be done. And you will begin to put your energy into those things. You'll begin to put your effort into those things. You'll begin to put your resources into those things, and you will become who you feel led to be. Like I say, if I can do it, so can you. It's like I started with nothing. I started like with nothing but hope and vision and dreams. Physically, there was nothing substantial to connect those things to. But I just I set that dial on, I'm gonna do these things. I set that dial on, I'm not better than nobody else, but nobody else is better than me. So if I could see somebody do it, I can do it every single time. It's like, guaranteed. I'm like, if one person can do it, so can I. If one person can have a big long windy driveway. Now just remember, I didn't have land. I barely had a job. I barely had an education. You know what I'm saying? But through diligence, the Bible has so many principles where it talks about diligence. And one of my favorite scriptures in the Bible is Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 12 and 13, where it says it's better to be a poor but wise youth rather than an old, rich and foolish king. It says, for that poor and wise youth can rise from poverty, even though he has been in prison, and become king by his wisdom. It's like, and I learned that wisdom is a principal thing. And as long as we, practice getting wisdom and practice walking in wisdom, I understood from God that I'm unstoppable. Like, there's nothing that I can't have. There's nobody that I can't bless. Like, being in that position to where I can be above and not beneath, but also understanding that just because I'm above doesn't mean I'm better than anybody. But I'm above, that just means that nobody is better than me, and I'm also not better than anybody else. We're just gonna look eye to eye. Eye to eye. That's it, for real. And that's just that's not pride, that's just confidence. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we get pride and confidence mixed up, because we're so used to people in our society being insecure, especially men, that we accept that as if it's supposed to be like that. No, we don't have to be insecure. We can be proud, we can be secure, we can be confident, but we can do that in a way to where it's not belittling to anybody else. And we can also not accept others belittling us as well. Like I said, I'm a living testimony that anything is possible. If I can do these things, if I can get to the places where I am now, you can definitely do things in your life. You can definitely conquer. Like I said, you're talking to somebody that was addicted to drugs. You're talking to somebody that went to prison when they were 17 years old. You're talking to somebody that didn't have an education and ended up getting at least, how many trades do I have? I think I have 5 trade certificates. I became a tradesman. I became skilled with my hands. I became a licensed and ordained minister, a licensed and ordained pastor. My wife and I started a ministry ourselves, successful, and changed the whole neighborhood, changed people's lives. The Lord gave us a vision to start a farm, and we bought land in cash. It's like I started a business selling dog kennels, and people laughed at me. Literally, I remember when I invested that first $2,000-$3,000 in dog kennels, and I was out there in my yard because we were still living in the city then. So there were houses around us. And I remember a guy, I was out there putting together my first dog kennel because I was like, hey, I'm gonna get into this dog kennel business. I had the dog kennels for a while, and I didn't start putting them together when I first bought them. They just sat in our storage shed. I bought 10 of them, 10 dog kennel kits, was my first purchase of dog kennels. And I bought those 10 dog kennel kits, and they just sit in a shed behind our house in the city for 2 or 3 months. And I didn't have any vision for how I was gonna advertise the business, how I was gonna sell all those kennels and everything. But the Lord started speaking to us about starting a farm and about owning land. And we ended up putting in a bid for some land, for this land that I'm standing on now. We put that bid in, and crazily, the bid was accepted. But guess what? We didn't have any money, for real. We only had $300-$400 to our name. And so we had, I think, 2 months, a month or something like that to purchase the property, or they were gonna sell it to somebody else, the next person that was in line. And so I went out there and started putting together those dog kennels, because in my mind, I prayed about it, and I was like, what do I have? I'm not just raising my hand saying, Lord, bless me. I'm thinking I'm raising my hand saying, Lord, what do I have in my possession already that I can use for your glory? Like, I feel like you've given me everything I need. So what do I have? And the Lord brought those dog kennels to my mind. They had been sitting in that shed for about two months. And so I went out there and started putting those dog kennels together. And when I was out there with all my tools laying out and everything, one of the neighbors, a guy came over. He was working on his car or something like that. And he came over and asked for a screwdriver. Like I said, 'cause I had all my tools laying out. And so when he came over asking for the screwdriver, now mind me, I'm just minding my own business. I'm not worried about anybody else. Like I said, I'm not bothering anybody. Like the Bible says, let us aspire to lead a quiet and peaceful life, minding our own business. You know what I'm saying? So I'm minding my own business. And this guy walks up and he asked for a flathead screwdriver because he was over there working on his car. I think he was trying to take his battery off or something like that. And so when I gave him the screwdriver, I went back to work and he was like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm putting these dog kennels together. I feel led to start a business with these dog kennels, selling these dog kennels." And you know what he said? He said, "Who gonna buy them things?" For real. He said, who's gonna buy a dog kennel? You know what I'm saying? Like, who are you gonna sell them to? Like, he started like speaking all these negative things for no reason. I'm just out there minding my own business. He come over asking me for something, and then he started discouraging me. But I already had that dial set to a certain place, so it wasn't discouraging to me. I knew who I was. I knew what I was gonna be, and I knew that we were gonna make enough money to buy this property in cash. We didn't feel led to get into any debt, and I knew that we were gonna make enough money to buy this property in cash. And so probably about a week later, I sold that first dog kennel. And after I sold that first dog kennel, it's like that guy told other people, and those people told other people. And within the matter of 2 or 3 months, I had sold within the matter of 2 weeks, I had sold all 10 of those dog kennels, and I had ordered like 20 more. And so the next run was double. I sold all those and ordered some more. And I just kept on selling them. And even after we purchased this property, I was still selling dog kennels. Like I said, but we cashed out that business because some things went on with the supplier, and the supplies went up. And so we had to make a decision: were we going to invest more into the business, or were we going to invest more into this new season of our life, owning property and farming? So I tell y'all that story to say this: nothing can stop you. You can achieve those things that the Lord has given you vision to achieve if you set that dial to the right mode, and if you give it everything that you have, all your resources, all your energy, all your thoughts. And don't get discouraged when people come and say, "Who gonna buy those?" You know what I'm saying? It's like people just don't understand. Like Stephen said when he was being stoned, "Forgive them, Lord, for they know not what they do." You know what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna understand your vision like you do. So watch who you tell your vision to. But I just want to encourage y'all, like I say today, like I said, whenever you're watching this video, whether it's morning, whether it's noon, whether it's night, I want you to understand that the things that you have dreams for, the things that you have goals to do, the things that have been on your heart, like those good and righteous things that have been on your heart to do since you were a kid, since you were in high school, since you were in college, those things that you have been dreaming and desiring to do, you can do them. There is no I can't. I can't does not exist in your life anymore. Right now, we expel that I can't from your life, and we anoint you with an I can spirit. So you can do those things that the Lord has given you vision to do. And I'm a living testimony of that. So y'all be blessed today. Y'all have a good day. Y'all understand who you are and understand who you aren't. You aren't better than anybody else, and nobody else is better than you. P2P motivation. We'll see y'all on the next one.